Paul says, continue steadfastly in prayer, being watchful in it with thanksgiving. Continue steadfastly in prayer, being watchful in it with thanksgiving. So I think it's helpful maybe even to ask, well, why would we not do this? Because I think most of us would say, okay, let's just talk about prayer. Who's for it? Oh, we're all for it. And yet it's something that often we neglect. And so why is that? Why is it that we're not automatically and naturally inclined to remain steadfast in prayer? The first thing is because we have a tendency to get distracted. So that's one reason. I think another reason, we get discouraged. And then sometimes we don't pray because we get delusional. And when I say delusional, I mean that we fall into this delusion that we've got it under control. Like, prayer is a last resort. If it comes to that, we'll pray. Otherwise, I kind of feel like I've got it, right? Lord, I'll let you know when if I feel like I'm in over my head. But yeah, pretty much now I'm good. And we feel like we don't need supernatural help. And by the way, if that's true for you, one thing to consider, one possibility, if we don't regularly feel the need for the supernatural power and assistance of God in our lives, it might be a good indicator that we are not pursuing anything of a supernatural or eternal significance. Now, with thanksgiving, that instruction is often a part in numerous passages where prayer is instructed. There's this phrase, with thanksgiving. We do so from a context of gratitude, of recognizing that God has already established his love for us. He has already established his faithfulness. And so we may come in the most desperate situation and say, God, would you please show up here? Would you please bring healing? Would you please bring peace? Would you please bring reconciliation? Whatever the case may be, where we would say, this really seems to be God's will. Even in those cases where we have absolute clarity in our minds of what God ought to do, we pray with the context of saying, and even if you don't, we thank you that you're still good. God cannot be on trial in any of these things. And if in your mind, well, if God does this, I'll believe he's good. And if God doesn't, then I'm done. Well, you're already done. And so as we come to him, we have to view life through the lens of the cross. We don't thank God for the trials. If you're really spiritual, maybe you do that. I don't. Because I got plenty of them. And I think, Lord, you got plenty of opportunity to shape my character. If it's not going to get any better, this just kill me. But no more of this, right? But yet in the trials, we can thank him because he's good all the time.